the 9 ways you can prepare yourself to get a home loan. I'm Chris Spade at Keller Williams Realty. We're going to talk about that coming up. Thank you so much for coming back to my YouTube channel. I'm Chris Spade at Keller Williams Realty. If you do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button. Also, click that little bell so you can be notified every single time we drop fresh new content. And if you would, give me a thumbs up after you're done watching this video. It's gonna help me with my self-esteem. So when you're getting a new home loan, there are things you should and should not do. So we're gonna go over the don'ts first because those outweigh the do's. Whatever you do not apply for new credit. You don't want to do this because it'll take a hit on your credit score and you're going to get a ding, which will lower your credit score. Make no major purchases. That means no cars, no boats, no big purchases on your credit cards, none of it. Zip, zero, zilch, none, nada. You don't want to do that because that is going to make a huge difference in your credit report, and at the very end of the transaction, you may actually not qualify to get the deal. Whatever you do not consolidate your debt into fewer credit cards. Once your credit is ran for a mortgage, you want to make sure that every move you're making, you're consulting your loan officer. If you go ahead and make those moves on your own, you are putting your credit at risk. The next thing you do not want to do is either close out or max out your credit cards. The reason you don't want to do that is because if you do either one of those, it's going to have a negative effect on your credit score. You see, every time you close out a credit card, it takes a ding on your credit, and the credit bureaus look at your higher credit risk because credit card companies are giving you less credit. I know it seems weird, but that's just what happens. So you want to make sure that you're not doing anything to put your credit in jeopardy. The other thing you don't want to do not ignore any bill collectors, tax liens, or judgments against you. You're going to want to take care of those because those are actually going to help your credit. If you are ignoring them, it's going to take a ding and you're going to have a hard time getting a new mortgage. The other thing you do not want to do, and I know this seems a little bit weird because you want to save money for a house or get gifted money for a house, but you don't want to make any large deposits into any bank accounts or investment accounts. And the reason you don't want to do that is because deposits have to be tracked by the mortgage servicer. So if you go ahead and make those large deposits, they're going to inquire about them and they're going to wonder why you're making those huge deposits. So what do you want to do? You want to stay on top of your monthly bills. That means make all your payments on time. Here's a general rule of thumb. If you cannot pay your credit card off monthly, which is a pretty good habit to get into, to pay that off every single month, make sure you pay it at least 10 days prior to the due date. At least pay the minimum payment 10 days prior if you can. And then if you want to make an additional payment a few days later on the actual due date, go ahead and do that. The reason you want to do that is you want to show the credit card companies that you're taking responsibility for the purchases that you're making. The biggest thing people fall behind in is their student loans. So if you are behind in your student loans and you really want to purchase a house, what you want to make sure that you do is that you're in line and that you are completely current with your student loans. Now, if you're in collections, it only takes 9 months for you to get out of collections from a student loan, which then will give you time to build up your savings account. That's very important. Now, right now, the government isn't taking any payments on student loans. However, if you want to make those payments, you're more than welcome to. They're not actually taking those payments until September, and there's no interest being charged right now. And if Congress has its way, it's going to actually eliminate some or most of your student loan debt. President Biden is looking at $10,000. Congress, they're looking at $50,000. So that means if between now and September that passes and you've got less than $50,000, your student loan debt will likely be completely wiped away. The other thing you do want to do, stay in the same job or at least stay in the same line of work. So let's say, for example, you're a nurse and you work, let's say, at Scripps, But Sharp offers you a better job with more money. You're in the same field. You're not jumping from what I did, television news, to real estate. Those are two completely opposite careers, which creditors are going to have a second look at. So you do want to stay in the same job or the same type of career. The other thing you do want to do before you make any moves, call me before you make any sudden moves, because we can stop some of those foolish mistakes you might make on the front end, which will push your dream of buying a home off just a little bit further. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at 619-818-2992 or grab me on the web, alwayssunnyinsd.kw.com. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.